All right, what's going on, everybody? As you can see, I am stashless. I am beardless. I don't know how to feel about it yet, but it's gone for now. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make $100,000 in 2 months hanging Christmas lights. All right. So if you're broke, you're bored, you're stuck in a dead end job. Maybe you have like a seasonal home service company. Maybe you're up north or whatever, and it gets cold in the winter. You have nothing to do. This 2 month seasonal side hustle can make you six figures. I did 165,000 last year hanging Christmas lights in like just around 2 months. And I started out with nothing but a ladder and a couple of buddies. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can make 100,000 your very first season. 100% doable. I know like a handful of people who have done it. I'm sure there's plenty more. I did just under 50,000 my first season while I was full time in college. So I promise you, if you put in the work, you can do 100,000 your first season. So why you should listen to me? I've scaled my soft washing company to just over 50K a month, and a Christmas light company to 165K a season. Hopefully we're pushing for 4 or 5, 600,000 this season. We'll see what we do, but that's the goal. I started like 4 years ago with $70. That's it, and I've grown from there. So here's the step-by-step process I would follow if I never looked at a Christmas light before and I wanted to do 100,000 my first season. All right, number one, the opportunity. Why this works. I get so many people that are like, especially on Twitter, totally baffled that this is a business, that this like is a thing that actually people do and people make money from. All right, I'm gonna tell you why it works. First, it's high demand and there's seasonal urgency. All right, you have like 2 months. This is like a year of business crammed into 2 months. Everyone wants it done. You literally have like a year of demand crammed into 2 months. Like I promise you, if you market correctly, the phone does not stop ringing. All right, this is a supply constrained business. It's not demand constrained. There's just so much demand. All right, like everyone wants it done. It's such a cool service. Everyone's like, oh, like hang my lights. Not everyone's qualified, but a lot of demand. All right, relatively low competition. This is not like a lot of other businesses where like you type in, I don't know, like pressure washing in Florida, and there's like fucking 40 companies in like a 2 mile radius. This isn't the same. This isn't necessarily every single market, but like in a lot of markets, there's just no one that does it. Like I know, in some cities, like bigger areas, there's a couple companies, but like relatively in a macro sense, very low competition. Okay, especially doing it in like a white glove manner, not just like a landscape company who happens to hang Christmas lights. All right, high margin, simple to start. Like the barrier to entry to this is super super low, which is also why it's important to like get in now and not wait like until next year, the next season after that, because it is low barrier to entry. It's not like HVAC or something where you need licenses or whatever. All you need is like a ladder. We'll get into the equipment stuff and exactly what you need, but you need a ladder and some Christmas lights, and that's really it. Like anyone can do it. Um, After the first year, it's super high margin, and obviously like it costs money to grow. So like for example, we've been around 30 to 40% the past 2 years, but last year I reinvested a ton of money back into growth. Um, but essentially, after the first year, the lights are paid for, the customer is paid for. All you have to pay for is labor and overhead too, if you're a little bit bigger, right? But as you grow, as you build inventory, as you build a client list, and the people retain year over year, it's a super super scalable business. All right, and you could literally start. You don't even need $1,000 to start, to be honest. You don't. You could start with $0 on a credit card, but you can start with, I'm gonna say, less than 1,000 and scale to 100K in 60 days. All right. What this high demand means for you is a low customer acquisition cost. This was our math last season. Average job size was $2,200. Average gross profit was $1,540. This is factoring in the material cost, given that they stay for 3 years. Or I think I factored this, that the lights are usable for 4 or 5 years. I don't remember. I did this math a while ago. Churn 35%. That was what we were from year one to year two. I am hoping that it is a lot better this year. It was a really small sample size year one. We did 50K with like 18 clients, and whatever, like 12 of them returned. We had a lot of like weird things, like weird reasons people didn't come back. Like we got a big hurricane in October, and that like wiped a couple of people out. But I'm hoping the churn's closer to like 20% this year, but we'll see. But with this math, average retention is 3 years. Lifetime gross profit is $4,620 with a CAC of $200. All right. So the CAC to LTGP is 1 to 23, as in like you put in $1 in advertising and you get out $23 in gross profit. Crazy numbers. All right. This right here, this is a $4,000 install. I don't know exactly why I stuffed it in here, but it looks pretty, just so you can get an idea of what some installs look like. I think this took us like 3 hours with 3 guys, so like 9 man-hours, which is like just under $400 per man-hour, I think. Anyway, step-by-step plan to $100,000. First, we gotta learn the service, right? So how do we actually put up Christmas lights? There's two sort of main like segments of lights that we're gonna do. We're gonna do roof lines, which is C9s, and then we're gonna do landscape lighting with mini lights. All right. What you need to do this, you need a ladder most of the time. You can either get this on, Facebook Marketplace. I'm sure most of you have a ladder. They're like $300 brand new from Home Depot. Get them on Facebook for like nothing. All right. You need a basic starter pack that you can get off. I'll plug who I use. I use Christmas Light Contractors. I'm not affiliated with them. There's a bunch of different suppliers. I use Minlean lights, Minlean C9s, and I think I use Standard mini lights. Standard is the brand, or something like that. Might be the Wire. I don't know. Whatever the cheap, or maybe no, it's 5-star. I think it's 5-star. So you need a ladder, right, to actually put them up. You need a truck, or like some sort of vehicle, some sort of transportation, like obviously. You need the lights. Like, so bulbs, you need wire or a socket plug. So bulbs, socket, plug, bare wire, clips, plugs, timer, and then some like basic kind of like safety roof equipment. Ideally, like you get cougar paws, which are like boots that like allow you to walk roofs easier. And a goat if you have like steeper roofs, which is like a little like roof ladder you could search up. These two aren't super necessary, just make it a little bit easier. You could literally learn this stuff in a week. You can learn it in a day, to be honest. But if you want to give yourself a little bit more time, you can learn it in a week. To learn, you can order a starter pack off Christmas Light Contractors for like a couple $100 and just practice in your own house or like a buddy's house or whatever, just to kind of get like the lay of the land. I'll probably make a video at some point on like basic installation, just so you can get an idea of how things work. It's pretty basic though. It's basic electrical, right? You have socket wire, you have bulbs that you screw in, and you custom cut it to the roof line, and then you pretty much put plugs on the end of that wire, so you can have custom extension cords, make everything nice and pretty and neat. And it's really simple. The mini lights, you take them, you wrap them around the bush, you wrap them around the tree, whatever you're lighting, and there's a little bit more nuance, obviously, with everything. But from like a super high level macro point of view, again, it's really not that difficult. Step 2, we have to package and price right. So what you're not going to do is charge like $3 a foot and say like, oh, I'm getting all of these clients, I'm doing so well, and you get to the end of the season and you've like lost money. Okay, you have to, if you want like an actual business that will grow and actually make you money, and you can reinvest into a better team, into better equipment, into marketing, all of this good stuff. $8 to $10 a linear foot for roof line. You can start at like 6 to 7 just to get your feet wet. But I promise you, like last year we were charging $8 to $10 a foot, and I think our margins were like 35%. So like imagine you slash that in half and you charge $5 a foot. Your profit's gone. All right. And like if you're just doing this as like people can get away with it when they just do it as a side hustle. But again, like if you want to have an actual business that actually makes you money and grows over time, have to charge premium prices. And that's what the avatar that you want to serve, like upper middle class, rich people will want to pay more for like a white glove service, like a premium service. All right. Don't compete with the handyman that will send out their, landscaping guys and pay them $15 an hour and do a shitty job and not come out when the lights don't work, 4 days before Christmas, won't show up to take them down. I do my lights in Florida. I live in New York half the year for the soft washing business. And I've seen probably a dozen Christmas lights still on roofs that are like half hanging down. It's like very clear that like the company just didn't show up to take them down. Like I would be surprised if people like purposely left them up there. Like it looks like shit. They're like half falling down. So don't be that guy. All right. Step 3, get leads fast. Throw up a Facebook campaign, $10 leads. Yard signs are going to be the easiest, like most dummy proof method of advertising. Like this is such a high demand business that you put out 250 yard signs. Like year 1, we put out 250 yard signs. It did 50 grand. only advertising. I did run Facebook ads early in like September. I got one job from it because I wasn't as good as we are now. But yard signs are just the most foolproof. Door knocking is not supposed to be here. Do not door knock for this service. There's just no need to. Too much demand. Facebook groups, super easy, super free. Why did I say super free? It's just free. And then referrals are super big. So Facebook ads, you could either do messenger ads or just a super basic landing page or like an intake form. Route to go high level for automation, and then set in-person estimates. So we do all in-person estimates. Your close rate's higher. Your average ticket is higher. I don't have data to back this one, but I would presume the customer is a lot stickier when you actually show up and develop a relationship with them, which you can make a counter argument that you make a relationship when you actually come to do the job. But overall, especially when you're just starting out, in-person estimates are the way to go. All right. I actually have a sales process. Run them through like a consultation, like get to the kitchen table, give them a mock-up, show them exactly what everything's going to look like, and you're going to do a lot better than the guy that's just picking up the phone and texting over a price. Especially if you're in a place where you're not the only company. Like if you have competitors, most of your competitors, I would go as far to say it's like almost all of your competitors aren't going in person. At least how it was for me, and from the dozens of people that I've talked to, almost no one goes in person except the people that are doing it at a super high level. Which if you're just beginning, like that's one of your competitive advantages is actually showing up. And then fulfill without chaos. So if you're just starting out and you're going to do all the labor, and you're not planning on like subbing it out or hiring a crew and like just selling whatever it is, like you can start with you and a helper and you guys can do like 3 to 5K a day, like at least. Last year, our best days, we were doing like 10 to 15K with 3 dudes. All right, track all your installs, takedowns, routes, and everything in House Call Pro or Google Sheets. We have both. So I have everything in House Call Pro plus a Google Sheet with like all of our information, all of our clients, and any like notes, anything like that. You install between if you're just starting out, you'll probably start installations like late October, and then wrap up. People don't really want it installed past like December 15th, to be honest. You get a handful, but we stopped. I think December 15th or December 16th last year. Year one, we stopped like the first week of December because I was going home from school. But it's a really short window of installation. All right, what I would do differently if I was starting out, knowing what I know now. First, I would start booking in October. I would start advertising like even in August. It's July 15th right now, and I just turned on ads. I don't know how they're gonna do. I've never started advertising this early, but you really want to like start prepping like now, and like August is when you really want to start prepping, and then like by September, like it's go time. Okay, so don't wait. Like you still can do really really great numbers even if you start in like November. But if you want to do really really well, like start as early as possible. I would hire help earlier. If it's just you, you're gonna have a difficult time. Like you're really gonna struggle a little bit if it's just you. You really want at least kind of a couple helpers, a couple people on the team that are like willing to work. Where do you find people? Go to Indeed, your network, if you have friends, family, roofers, and we've had actually a couple people reach out to us from our Google business, from people that work for other home service companies like landscaping companies, roofing companies that slow down over the winter and are looking for more work. So put a post on Indeed. We're going to be running like Facebook ads for hiring funnels. Just hire help. I promise you need help for this, especially like you can't do everything yourself. I mean, you just won't do as well. It's a lot more difficult. Don't undercharge. All right, premium positioning wins. So like again, do not charge $3, $4, $5 a foot. The lowest I would recommend is like $6, and that's if you're just like dipping your feet in the water, like $6, $7 a foot. But ideally, you want to get to $8 to $10. All right, and I would automate follow up from the start. So I would use AI as much as I possibly could. Go high level automations. Again, this is a supply constrained business. Like you're gonna get overwhelmed with the amount of leads that like pour through the door. All right, so make everything as easy as possible on yourself. All right, what do I do next? What do you do next? Not me. Great question, bro. Sub to my free newsletter for weekly sauce. Link is in bio, and DM me lights on Instagram if you're interested in the pre-enrollment for the Christmas Light program. We just started taking deposits. That's going to be starting in like August. If you want me to hold your hand through this entire process, make it super easy. Otherwise, just keep watching my YouTube videos. I have plenty of free information over on Twitter. That's where I'm most active. I'm going to be trying to do like a video or two a week on here. Just posting more in general. But if you have any questions, again, feel free to shoot me a DM or on Twitter or Instagram. Peace. Thanks for watching.